Hi everyone. So today I'm going to walk you through the process for submitting and editing your essay now that I've given you the notes on Turnitin.com. So basically, what you're going to need to do is go back to Turnitin.com, back to the rough draft that you submitted, and you'll need to open up this window on the right hand side, the feedback summary. Um, Mostly it's the blue one. Okay, I'll walk you through all three colors: blue, red, and purple. But we'll start with blue because that's primarily the notes that I left. Some of you will see potentially throughout the essay at different points places that are highlighted and have some sort of comment telling you what to improve. If it's a yellow highlight and then a blue comment bubble, that's from me. That's something that I said about your essay. So read those, make those changes. You might also see just blue text comments throughout, just positioned somewhere of relevance. Those are also from me. Um, so pay attention to all of those. Any of the blue comment bubbles, the blue comments, or the yellow highlights. And then primarily, here's how I graded your essays and gave you feedback. The main way was in this text comment off to the side. All of them followed the same format. And then I also had a rubric just to give you kind of a point scale that you can glance at to see which areas you need to improve on the most. So they do match up. Remember that in the rubric there were 10 different categories that you're being graded on for this essay. Kind of the overall having 3 pages, 7 paragraphs on topic, formatting, introduction, thesis, your body paragraphs, quotes was a big one. There's 2 different ways you're being scored on quotes, having 7 of them and then citing them all properly. And then your conclusion and the outcome, and then at the bottom you'll see like the final grade. So I'll add all the points together. Now, again, all 10 of those categories match up with the rubric over here. And so for each one, I just kind of bubbled either 0, somewhere between 1 and 4, which would mean you need a lot of improvement, somewhere between 5 and 9. So you need some improvement, but it's not the end of the world terrible. And then 10, it's already perfect. Now in the text comment, next to each one, I did put the exact number. So for the introduction, for example, if it says 7 here, that's how many points you got. And so if you look at the bubbles, it's between 5 and 9. It's letting you know, hey, you need some improvement, but again, it's not the end of the world. There's some things that could be better. You can work on that. However, your priorities for what to change will be the things between 1 and 4. And then anything that actually has like a 0, you got no points so far. And that's where the text comment will actually walk you through that and help you complete that task. So next to each one, there'll be a description of what you did and what needs to be changed. Some of them will say, hey, it's perfect. You got 10 points. Some of them will say something like, hey, these things need to be adjusted. These things need to be changed. But you got somewhere between like 5 and 9 points. So you're doing okay. And then some of them will say, hey, this is bad, or it's missing, or it needs a lot of work, and your score will be between 1 and 4. And then some things like quotes. This was a lot of you. Either you don't have quotes, or they're not cited, or you just didn't even attempt to include them or cite them, and that got you 0 points in that category. So total, it's 100. So out of 100, say you got 60 out of 100, that would be whatever score is right here. This score is your grade if you change nothing on your final draft. If you just take your rough draft, you say, the score that Mr. Chappé put here is good enough for me. I'll take it. I'm not going to change anything. I'm not going to put in any work to making it better. That's the grade you'll get on your final draft if you submit exactly the same thing. Up here, hopefully this wasn't too confusing. I also put what that score is, just so you can have a look at it. Out of 50, the whole thing is out of 100, but this is kind of a quick way of knowing. All right, I got such and such percentage or so many points. The rough draft, you got full credit if you turn it in on time, but this is to indicate mostly what your score would be on the final draft if you changed nothing. If you have any questions, please let me know at office hours, and have a great day.